Good evening. This is the Dean of all things spicy from Conjure Vapors Peppers, and I'm here to do a pepper review. Sorry, I just got back in from the garden from harvesting, and I found one of these, and I want to show it to you. So it's the first one I've ever grown that grew true. I've grown many that ended up being something very similar, but not the exact right thing. So this is a Sugar Rush Red. So for 4 years now, I've tried to grow a Sugar Rush Red, and they constantly come out either stripy or peach. So I finally got one. Yay! And I just harvested about 9 pods off the plant, and they all are this color. So I finally got one that's open pollinated. Yay! Hopefully it didn't cross. If it did, cool, because I actually like crosses quite a bit. I love natural crosses. You know, I think what a bee can create is so much greater than what a human can create. So, um, let's cut her open and see how she looks with my handy dandy knife. I love the Sugar Rush Peach. I love the Sugar Rush Stripey. And last year, I do believe I had a Sugar Rush Red plant, but sometimes just because it's the right plant, when pepper is released in an early filial generation, it doesn't mean it's going to grow true. So this one seems to be open pollinated. I'm hoping that it actually is, because that will mean that I'll get Sugar Rush Red again next year. So this is what she looks like on the inside. Very red, inside and out. So, smells like an SRP. Let's see how she tastes. I'm curious if it's any difference in sweetness. Hmm. So that was interesting. Nowhere near as sweet as a Sugar Rush Peach or as a Sugar Rush Stripey. It was, though, extremely fruity. You may ask, how is something fruity but not sweet? Well, a cucumber is fruity, but is it sweet? I guess it depends on the variety, right? You look at apples, for example. Tons of different varieties out there. Some of them aren't very sweet at all, like a granny, but they're fruity, right? So, very fruity, no floral, no bitterness, but very, very, very little sweetness. The burn is mostly on the tip of my tongue. And maybe it's because I'm picking seeds out from there. right down here behind my gum line as well. Again, I'm picking seeds out from there. I want to say the heat level is probably around 35,000 Scoville heat units, maybe up to 45. It's very interesting. So I believe that when Chris Fowler created the SRP, or it might have actually been a friend of his that created it, and he was the one that developed it. But he's still given the the glory for it. He's a great grower. He's a friend of mine. I think when Chris created or developed the Sugar Rush Peach, I think that and I could be wrong, but I think he let it out in too early of a filial generation. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, and if you don't understand what filial means, so when you first cross two things that are both open pollinated and they're different, for example, a jalapeno and a serrano, they're both open pollinated, which means their seeds grow true to form, but you cross their flowers together, that first generation of seeds is the first filial generation of that hybrid variety. Then you take that pepper that grows from that F1 seed, save seeds from that one pepper, and the next generation's peppers will be the second filial generation, or F2. You continue that out for about 8 to 12 generations. It all depends on the pepper. It all depends on the tomato. It all depends on the fruit or flower that you're crossing as to how many generations it takes for it to become an open pollinated variety or stable. Open pollinated means that when you plant the seeds will become exactly like the parent. Exactly like the parent. There's always a chance of slight variation, even in an open pollinated variety. But when you grow, like, for example, rose red zinnia, unless it's a hybrid and they're keeping it in the F1 generation so that it always grows true in the F1, I'm just making up a name, but a specific named zinnia. Okay, I'm going to go away from the fake names. When you grow a zinnia from certain growers, they specifically work on open pollinated varieties, right? So that as long as you're protecting that zinnia when it grows, either you're using isolation via bags or isolation via distance, and no other zinnia can cross with it, it's an open pollinated zinnia. So anyway, that's what filial means. That's what open pollinated means. A lot of people in the chili community have a difference of opinion on what open pollinated means, because people tend to believe what they're told. They think that open pollinated just means that it's a cross, or that it was open to the air, so it's a hybrid, or that it that's wrong. If you happen to not believe me, check the peer-reviewed scientific articles. Just Google open pollinated. You'll find out what it means. Anyway, I digress. Absolutely delicious pepper. I do think I prefer the Stripey and the Sugar Rush Peach, both for their sweetness. And my SRPs are growing way hotter than this. This is I'm estimating 35 to 45,000, and the SRPs that I've been eating this year are low-level habanero heat, so I'm thinking 90, 95,000. I like it much more. Great pepper, though. This one would be good for salad. Chop it up, put it on a salad. Chop it up, put it on a sandwich. It's a low enough heat level that most people could handle it easily. If you can handle Serrano, okay, a little above Serrano, maybe Cayenne, then you can handle this pepper. Anyway, this is the Dean of all things spicy. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful night. I'm out.